musicians, I'm AndyPaul and you're watching Guitar Guru channel. Today I'm gonna show you how to play Smoke on the Water main guitar riff, solo guitar riff. Also, I'll give you a short history lesson on Smoke on the Water main riff. We'll review what Richard Blackmore had to say when he was asked how he came up with this melody, and whether or not it was stolen from another music band. To play Smoke on the Water main guitar riff, you don't have to be very advanced. Technically, it's super easy to play, but its rhythmical structure and syncopation is where most musicians make mistakes. I will explain you the rhythmical part difficulty in a minute. Stay tuned. So without further ado, let's review how the most important and most famous guitar riff on the planet was created and how to play it. Let's review how you physically play it on your guitar's neck, on the fretboard, and which finger is used on which fret, and then the dynamics, like rhythmical dynamics of it. So to make it sound proper, you actually have to understand what's the difference between main beat or downbeat in music and syncope. Let's start first with plain stuff. Richard Blackmore himself, he plays it pressing small bar chord on string number 5 and 4. So the whole tune is in G. So it's going to be G minor, and G minor pentatonic or pentatonic scale is used. G key note is on string number 6, 3rd fret. But then if it's a power chord, you also have string number 5, 5th fret, and string number 4, 5th fret note. So he's using a small bar. It's when you press two strings at the same time. You bend the last knuckle on your ring finger backwards. So to create flat structure, to press more than one string with one finger. So what he's doing is picking string 5 and 4, 5th fret, then string number 3 and 4, 3rd fret, and string number 3 and 4, 5th fret. All together, it's 5, 3, 3. Again. Then he's using so-called syncopes. Same notes, but in the end, 6, 5. All right, so same 5th and 4th string, 5th fret, string number 4 and 3, 3rd fret, and then you glide to 6, 5 with the same ring finger. All together, it would be 5, 3, 3, 5, 3, 6, 5. Then repeat 5, 3, 5, 3, 0. In the end, Richard Blackmore is playing it as open strings, although it gives you exact same notes as string A and D, 5th fret, like notes are D, G, same notes, D, G, is when you play open 4, open 3, right? So technically, you can bypass playing string number 5 completely. You can just do 0, 3, 5, 0, 3, 6, 5, 0, 3, 5, 3, 0. That's how it works, right? So it makes most sense. Although Richard Blackmore is a strange guy, so he's using, at times he's playing live as up, 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 down, up, 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 just like that. So he's employing string number 5 for some reason. It just makes more sense from a standpoint of blues guitarist, because this is your pentatonic. So he's using G minor pentatonic position, right? But it actually makes more sense to play it through open string, and then 3rd fret, small bar, 5th fret, small bar. Now, I would not pay much attention to Richard Blackmore playing it up, up, up. It's just, you know, a very peculiar dynamic of his sound production. Some other times I saw him playing using fingerpicking. So he's laying his thumb on string number 5 and 6 to make sure that they mute it. Then he's touching string number 1 and 2 with ring and pinky, again to make sure they don't make the hot, you know, background noise. And then he's actually plucking string number 4 with his thumb and string number 3 with index. So you play 0, 0, 3, 3, 5, 5. You see, just like that. Almost like something you would do on acoustic guitar. Again, to me, it does not make sense, because when you pluck string with your thumb, it's a flesh, soft part of your finger, and then string number 3 is plugged with index, where you have nail, fingernail, right? So it's not really consistent sound. It would make more sense to mute 6 and 5, mute 1 and 2, and leave your index plucking always on string number 4, middle always on string number 3. So in terms of very clean and transparent sound production, this position makes most sense, although Richie Blackmore himself never uses it. He's using all the incorrect sound productions. I don't know, just to trick the system, I guess. Now, how to make sure you pulsate, you create proper pulse when you play it. Because sometimes drum and bass guys, they would say, oh, when you play that riff, and it happened to me when I was a teenager, they say it does not pulsate proper, all right? You don't create proper pulse rhythmically, proper rhythmical structure. So it does not sometimes correspond with what we play. Because bass guitar and drums, they play completely different story. They do not repeat the syncopes that you're playing, right? So for you to understand what syncope is just imagine when you count 1, 2, 3, 4, and you hit down, that's your down beat. But then if you create an imaginary ceiling and you count 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and that end, when you hit the ceiling rhythmically, is a syncope. When you move accent from downbeat, where it belongs, where it's supposed to be strong, to the up stroke beat, that is called syncope. So if I play 1, 2, 3, no syncopation. But if I play 1, 2, and 10, and start syncopating when I hit the ceiling rhythmically, that's gonna be the syncope. Now, imagine first 3 notes are downstroke beats, all right? No syncopation in first 3. When you play 0, 3, 5, there is no syncope, right? 0, 3, 5, skip, 0, 3, 6, 5. So next part, next bar, almost entirely made of syncopes. So you play down, 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 skip, up, 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 down. So in the second bar, only very last beat is again downstroke. Other than that, all 3 syncopes are up strokes, all right? So here's, you can use foot tapping, for example, to control all that. And you see how you go down, 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 skip, up, 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 down, skip, down, 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 skip, up, up, and stop. All right? It's also important where you stop the sound. If you hear Richie Blackmore playing, even he's using all incorrect movements, he's stopping and picking at the very proper time. So it's not only picking at the proper time that matters, but also stopping sound. It creates the rhythmical structure you need. Skip, 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 stop. You got it? So it's always bars, index on 3rd fret, ring either on 5th fret or 6 when you do 6, 5. That little slide. If you want to make it sound a little bit more dirty, you use a pick. But again, I would not suggest what Richie Blackmore is doing. All right, picking up, up, up. I would do, according to your downstroke picking, you pick down, then up, 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 down, skip, down, 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 up, up, stop. That would make more sense. But again, once that pendulum tick-tock, 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 tick is downbeat, tock is a syncope, is ticking inside you, you will not make a mistake rhythmically, even if you use wrong sound production. Now the funny part, the history lesson, I would say. When I was a teenager, I thought of Richie Blackmore being a genius. right? Each and every song I've heard, almost in all albums they released, they did sound like he's out of this world, like he was getting this music from out there, from God himself. But then analyzing and listening to other music, and I've learned that Richie Blackmore was a big fan of Gershwin, which is jazz musician. And then another historical fact, that Richie Blackmore on one of the interviews told the correspondent that he invented this Smoke on the Water main riff by listening Beethoven. You know, this da-da-da-dum, da-da-da-da, and he kind of reversed it and created Smoke on the Water main riff, according to his part of the story.
Rigid fourths, which is going back to the medieval times. That's how they played a lot of shorn parts, was parallel fourths. So now you have band Beethoven, bum 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 bum. And I thought, play that backwards, put something to it, and you've got bum 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 bum. That's how I came up with it.
Hang on. Are you telling me
Yes.
that the famous riff of Smoke on the Water is from Beethoven?
It's an interpretation of inversion. If you turn it back and play it back and forth, it's actually Beethoven's Fifth. So I owe him a lot of money.
In reality, though, Richie Blackmore stole this melody from another jazz band that was famous in the 60s, Astrud Gilberto, and the song was called Maria Quiet, recorded in 1967, 5 years before Smoke on the Water was released as a part of album Machine Head. When I heard it for the first time, my entire world flipped upside down, because the whole mystery was gone. So to create the most famous guitar riff in the world, you don't even have to be a genius. It's all marketing. You can borrow it from someone and technically even pay money, to avoid any court, hearings about author rights. That's what a lot of famous musicians do. If they're bigger than someone where they borrowed song from, they just pay money, and basically pay for author rights. But it's not necessarily their own music in a lot of cases. Now, bonus track for more advanced musicians. This is how you combine that main guitar riff with the actual bass guitar line. There is no second guitar in the Purple, right? So the rhythm is played on a bass guitar. This is the very famous, it sounds like a tractor is going through, I don't know, a field. So this riff, bass guitar riff, supports the actual syncopation very well. So this is how they actually distracted people from it being a jazz melody. They don't put emphasis on syncopation that solo guitar is playing. Everyone else, drums, doesn't have any syncopation, right? It's very straightforward. And bass guitar does not support any of the syncopes, actually, with its accents, right? And melodically, it's totally different from what solo guitarist is playing. So they just create a heavy or hard rock music background rhythm with this 0, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. So it's a chromatic scale, E, F, F sharp, G, G, and then endlessly he's playing G note, just creating the pulse. 0, 3, 6, 5. When you hear 6, 5 on solo guitar, you repeat chromatic scale. Okay, do not count how many times you need to pick on G, because it's too long. All right, people who start counting each and every note, they tend to make the music sound mechanically dull, almost like a robot is playing instead of human being. So do not count, But imagine how solo guitar rhythm is going alongside with you picking G. So it's like that. He starts on 3 and. So bass guitar line does not start on 1 as solo guitar. He starts playing earlier. These notes are called pickup notes. So if you imagine someone gives you count 1, 2, 3, 4, and on 1 you start playing, if you're a solo guitarist, bass guitarist will start playing on 3 and throughout this pickup counts. So if we slow down, it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So on 1 you reach G. 0, 3, 6, 5, 0, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 2. After which G is picked 4 times, which in this case is going to be easy to count. So again, pickup count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and down, 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 3, 6, 5. Repeat chromatic down, 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 down. So here you pick C 3 times, B flat 2 times, and G 4 times. All right. How it corresponds to what solo guitarist is playing? When he reaches that 5, this is the signal for you to start playing C. Then he goes for B flat, you play B flat 2 times, and back to G open strings. You are back to the tonic note on 6th string 3rd fret. That's G. All right, slowly from beginning to top, to the bottom. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 0, 3, 5, 0, 3, 6, 5, 0, 3, C, 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 B, B, G, 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 G. This way you'll support C, 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 B, B, G, 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 G. You play same rhythmical pulse as solo guitar riff. In the end, they kind of coincide. They play at the same time, changing from C to B flat and back to G. Now, how you can combine what a rhythm guitarist or bass guitarist is playing with a solo guitar riff. So once you learned solo and you learned bass guitar riff, dun, 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 dun. Try to play rhythm or bass guitar and sing with your voice the lead guitar riff, right? Then you should be able to put it all together on one instrument, on one guitar, something like that. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 0, 3, 5, 0, 3, 6, 5, 0, 3, 5. Even slower. Pay attention. Chromatic scale on 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and you do it all with index, right? And then last note you slide, but you pick 4 and 3 open. You see what's happening? Here I'm not picking G with my right hand. I slide and G sounds at the same time with me plucking string 4 and 3 open, which is your first interval. 0, 1, 2, 3, 3, 5. So what I do here, I switch to 0, 3, 5, and I pick on C, which is A string 3rd fret. Notice is C, A sharp, B, C. C, B flat, open, and I continue picking G 3 more times. 1, 2, 3, 4. After which, repeat. Again, 1 more time slowly with 1 finger, index finger, because you will need a bar eventually, right? So you can't do regular chromatic scale. You do it all with index. Open, 1, 2, 3. And now fast. All right, my dear musicians, that was very, very detailed history lesson and how to play section for Smoke on the Water. I doubt you will find any more detailed video on the internet. So if you like these detailed reviews put a like for this particular video and let me know in comments. So I will continue these very detailed reviews for different famous guitar riffs and songs in the future. That was AndyPaul and Guitar Guru channel. And until next video, God bless and take care.